Home, Chapter 62. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Mira Rose. If you haven't already, go check out the previous 61 parts of this series. You can find the link to them in the description box below. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if we've listened to all 61 parts already, and smash that like button because every like is a piece of camembert for Plague. Now then, if you are still listening, comment forgetting something. Please enjoy Home, Chapter 62. Adrien Graham de Vanilley. Adrien found himself relaxed. The muscles in his back no longer laced like a corset, unlike the last time he stood in this apartment. He wasn't brave enough to look in a mirror, but he could exist without a mask, at least right now, and that was an improvement from 2 days ago. It felt like he was forgetting something important. Marinette poured tea leaves onto an infuser as he stood, lost in looping thoughts, and Plague gouged himself on camembert. Sure, this extended moment of pause was awkward, but a nagging detail in the back of his mind distracted him from the atmosphere. What was he missing? What was he forgetting? Cat got your tongue? Marinette caught his attention just in time for him to hear her set the teapot down on the table behind him, littered with cheese wrappers.
No, cheese does,
Plague burped, a rare blip in his buffet-style concentration. Her lips parted as she smiled. I can see that. Oh, that giggle. That little controversial giggle that used to revive him from death's door if needed. It might still, if he let it.
Lots to think about,
Adrien answered, taking a seat in the chair she gestured to as the tisane brewed, the smell of orange peels and hibiscus swirling out of the spout. He took a better look at the teapot as Marinette pulled a cup off the top of it, noticing its design for the first time. "Milk?" she offered.
Oh, no. No, thank you.
He continued to stare at the teapot, shaped into a black cat.
This is...
A touch of blush spread across her face as she tucked a piece of hair away. This was your birthday present. He felt his heart swell.
My birthday present?
Well, years ago, Marinette poured the tea into the cup, the petals and peels caught in the teapot's strainer.
For me?
It's fitting, isn't it? Adrien stared at the black, cat-shaped tea set in front of him, trying to not let the swelling in his chest choke him up.
I would have loved it,
he confessed, bringing himself to meet her eyes. Yeah, she grinned. That's the point, silly. Oh, no. His heart wanted to do that little flutter thing again. This is crazy. It's been years. He shouldn't still feel this way about her. He shouldn't, but he did.
This fixes nothing,
he began, running a finger around the cup as steam greeted him.
But the only thing I missed from Paris was you.
Marinette hesitated, the pour from the teapot into her cup stopping briefly before she continued. I can't say I believe that.
I'm in earnest.
The only thing? She looked up at him, her lips pressed into a line. He had to look away, only to be greeted by his reflection in his tea. "So Nino is dead to you?" Her words burned him, but Adrien kept staring into the steam. "Compared to you, then yes." How could he tell her she was his home? His hand moved to the handkerchief in his pocket without his consent, protecting it from the tone their conversation held. She sighed and set the pot down. "Where have you been, Kat? And I don't mean your travels. I want to know why." He took a breath, trying to drown his anxiety with the first sip of tea. "This is good." He didn't mean to respond with a comment, but it took him by surprise. "Get to the point, Cat Noir." "Okay, ouch. It started with my father." "Your father?" "Yeah, so it turns out my mom was like, well, that." He shifted in his seat, "because of a broken Miraculous." Marinette drew back, her shoulders tight. "Adrien," she began. "So, at first, I couldn't come back because I wanted to be with my father for every step of his decided punishment, but then I had to go through training to stay at the temple, and then I had to find a way to help my mom." He inhaled sharply, still not looking at her. "The traveling," Marinette whispered. "Yeah. I got to research the Miraculous the old-fashioned way." "Did you—" She cut off her sentence. "Did she get better?" Adrien gripped his cup. "Yeah. Well, kind of." He felt her gaze and, without words, listened to her debate if she should ask what that meant. "Why were you in Japan?" He made himself look at her. To his surprise, her face was etched with concern, not anger. "I was looking for Natalie." "Natalie?" Her eyebrows shot up and she leaned forward. "She's here in Paris." Adrien all but spilled his tea as he jolted upright, bumping the table. "What?" he exclaimed. "She's our manager." A manager? Was Marinette a model or something? Sure, she was pretty enough to be, but... "Our?" he echoed. "Me and Chloe." Air escaped him as her 1-2 punch landed, carving out his chest. "You work with Chloe? Like, Chloe? Chloe Bourgeois?" She raised an eyebrow and smirked, leaning back as she brought her cup to her lips. "What of it?" He stood, slack-jawed, before composing himself enough to sit down. He hadn't expected for life to be the way he left it, but... "What do you—" "We run a clothing line together." She said it so matter-of-factly, he had no choice but to believe her. "You and Chloe do?" "Would you like me to record my words on a vinyl, so you can keep replaying them?" He narrowed his eyes. "I'm just a bit taken aback, is all." "We're doing quite well for ourselves. Thank you for asking. Why do you need Natalie?" It was so like her to keep the conversation en route. Business before emotions. She needs to finish healing. Is there something wrong with her? She left the temple without getting treatment on the side effects of using the Peacock Miraculous. Marinette held his eye contact. "Is the Miraculous fixed, by any chance?" "Huh?" "I'm the guardian, so you should report things like that to me." Was she making a joke? He couldn't tell. "Well, it's..." Marinette's ringtone cut him off, her phone screen lighting up to show Alia's name. "Wait, That's right! They promised to meet up with Alia! Hello? Marinette said, swiping to answer the call. Even from here, Adrien could hear Alia's greeting. I'm in the middle of something, so—
You're a ladybug?
A voice screamed through the speaker.
You! This whole time! And you never told me?
Marinette's face froze, and she locked eyes with Adrien. Oh, bother. Their little chat would have to wait. For now, it seemed, it was back to Japan before another misunderstanding happened because of his actions. Adrien couldn't do anything right these days, could he? Thank you so much for listening. Chapter 63 is on the way. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more fan fiction. I can talk. Anyway, if you're still listening, smash that like button so Tiki gets some cookies as well. And leave a comment for the comment section. If you don't know what to comment, put "oh bother." I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!